What's up, everybody? Justin here to do my UFC 205, first UFC ever in New York City, first UFC, first pay-per-view and event they were allowed to hold in New York City, in Madison Square Garden. So congratulations to UFC, you finally made it to the Big Apple. Now to the prelims. UFC 205 prelims, pre-show. I thought Rashad Evans was supposed to fight. Maybe he did fight. I missed his fight. But maybe that was on the UFC Fight Pass. I don't have the UFC Fight Pass. I just watched Fox Sports 1 for the prelims. And what I saw was Frankie Edgar against Jeremy Stephens. So I'll talk about that fight first. Round number 1 went to Frankie Edgar. In my opinion, he was kind of poked in the eye, so the ref stopped the fight. But I'll give that round 1 a tie. So it doesn't go to Frankie, I'll just say it was a tie. So round 1 was a tie, and this was 3 rounds for no title. Round 2, Frankie Edgar got a takedown on Jeremy, took him down, and that was the first takedown. And then again, after that takedown, then Jeremy had a lot of nice elbows, and elbows, punches, started backing off Frankie Edgar. At least, I think that's what I wrote down. I'm trying to read it. Anyways, takedown by Edgar to Jeremy Stephens, and then he gets up pretty quick, I believe. And then Jeremy backed up Frankie Edgar a little bit. That was round number 2. Frankie Edgar looked like he was in a little bit of trouble because he was backing off. So, still in round number 2, Frankie Edgar gets another takedown, second takedown of round number 2. And then he tried locking a choke on Jeremy, tried to choke him out, but it did not happen. The round ended, or Jeremy did not tap out from the choke. So round number 2 I would give to Frankie Edgar. Round number 3, Edgar gets a takedown. Frankie Edgar gets another takedown with like 4 minutes 12 seconds of round number 3 starting. So it was like only about a minute in, and Edgar gets another takedown on Jeremy. And then Jeremy tried to lock on a Kimura lock. That didn't happen. It goes to unanimous decision. Frankie Edgar wins by unanimous decision. So that fight, I just turned my head to make sure this is recorded, because I wouldn't want to be talking for nothing if it's not recording. So the pre-show, prelims, I saw Frankie Edgar, Jeremy Stephens. Again, Frankie Edgar wins by unanimous decision. Pretty entertaining fight. Up next was the pay-per-view fights. The first fight of the pay-per-view was a women's fight. They're in a division, but I forget the name of the women's division. Doesn't really matter. It was a women's fight. In the first one of the pay-per-view, Miesha Tate taking on Raquel Pennington. Pennington trained under Miesha Tate on a season of The Ultimate Fighter when Miesha Tate was a coach on The Ultimate Fighter. So Pennington knows Miesha Tate pretty well. But I'm sure Tate did not teach her everything. So it's kind of teacher versus student here. Round number 1, I would say Pennington won round number 1 pretty easily. Round number 2, Miesha Tate looked really, really tired. She just looked very tired in my opinion in round number 2. Round number 2 goes to Pennington. Round number 3 goes to Pennington. So she wins by unanimous decision. I think there was no true winner, so the judges had to decide on it. Unanimous decision. Pennington wins over Miesha Tate. Some breaking news happened after the fight. Miesha Tate was interviewed by Joe Rogan, and she announces on pay-per-view, she announces she is retiring, that this was her last fight. She said she did it for 10 years, and she's been beaten up a lot because she's been fighting for 10 years. So, Miesha Tate decided to retire right after the fight. She said if she wouldn't have lost, she probably wouldn't be retiring, but she said she has nothing left, that she's given it her all. So she retired right after the fight. She had a great career. At least she won the title once when she defeated Holly Holm. She didn't hold the title that long, but doesn't matter. At least she was a champion, and she had a great career. She went out like a champion. She didn't have to go out because of injury or being way past her prime. She went out like a champion. She had a great career. So thank you, Miesha Tate. You had a great career. Up next was, on the pay-per-view, was, I believe, Chris Weidman against Yoel Romero. This fight was for a title. Or no, it wasn't. It was not for a championship. Anyways, I got some notes on the fight. Round number 1. I kind of didn't pay that much attention to round number 1, but whatever. Round number 2. Yoel Romero, however you say his name, I thought he won round number 2. He had a nice body kick, really nice body kick by Romero in round 2. Round number 3. This is when the fight ended. It went 3 rounds, but it did not go to a unanimous decision. Round number 3, Romero does a kind of a jumping knee. It wasn't a flying knee, just was near Weidman's head, and he jumped in the air a little bit, and he hit a jumping knee right into the side of the head of Chris, and he went down. He got busted open, started bleeding right away, bleeding really bad right away after the jumping knee. So then he's down on the octagon mat. He wasn't moving. Joe Rogan said he's knocked out. He's not moving. He's knocked out. I didn't think he was knocked out, but he was really out of it. So Weidman gets knocked down with a knee to the head, busted open immediately, and he's laying on the mat. He's not moving barely. And then Romero jumps on top of him, drills him in the face 3 or 4 times, and then the ref right there stops the fight. So Weidman gets knocked out with a knee, and then big ground and pound on him. So Weidman loses a winner by TKO or whatever they called it, or knockout. Yoel Romero wins, and he won in devastating fashion. It was pretty awesome how he won, but I didn't want him to win, but he still won. And then after the fight, when Romero was doing his interview, post-fight interview, he started talking about Michael Bisping up in the stands in a skybox. They start showing Bisping on camera. He starts going like this to Romero, like he doesn't like the guy, and he wants to fight him next. So that was pretty funny. And then Romero gets angry, and he starts yelling back at him. The guy could barely I don't think he could speak English, so I couldn't understand what the hell he was saying. But he was angry. And Bisping kept doing this towards him, so that was pretty damn funny. Anyways, good victory by Yoel Romero. The guy looked pretty damn impressive. Or did it go? No, it didn't go 5 rounds. That was a different fight. The next fight was a women's fight. I almost skipped over it. The second women's fight of the pay-per-view was Karolina taking on Joanna. Both of them, I believe, are from Poland. So Joanna taking on Karolina. They're both from Poland. I haven't seen them fight before, but it was a pretty good fight. It was for the championship. Joanna was a champion. She was defending it against Catalina, I believe is how you say it. So this was for a championship in the women's division. I believe they're called flyweight division or whatever it's called. So Joanna, I predicted she would win. She was my prediction. She was defending her title. She did win. It was a good fight, pretty good fight. Joanna wins, retains her championship. And Catalina, she put up a great fight. Up next was, I believe, Tyron Woodley against Stephen Thompson. This was a really, really good fight. Probably the fight of the pay-per-view. I mean, the main event was good for what it was. It only went 2 rounds, but this fight, Woodley-Thompson, was the best fight of the pay-per-view show, in my opinion. So I got some notes on it. Round number 1. We had a takedown from Woodley. Took him down, got on top of him. He was on top of him for a while, for most of the first round. Woodley was on top after taking him down. And Thompson got busted open in the first round. Thompson was busted open pretty badly. I think it was over the eye or whatever. It was in his head. So Thompson was busted open after the first round ended. Woodley looked like he was going to finish him, but the first round ended and Thompson was bleeding pretty bad. Round number 2. This was 5 rounds for Woodley's championship. Woodley was defending it. Round number 2 went to Tyron Woodley, in my opinion. Round number 3. You had nice punches thrown by both guys at the end. They were just going back and forth, swinging at each other. That was pretty awesome to end round number 3. I don't really know who won round number 3, but that was a nice way to end it, with both guys throwing hands at each other. Round number 4, Thompson was knocked down twice. And then he's knocked down again. Twice he's knocked down. And then Woodley locks on a choke, really, really deep choke. And I thought for sure Thompson was going to tap out at any moment. But Thompson did not quit. He would not tap out. And Woodley kept cranking on the choke. He kept cranking, would not let go. He was squeezing and squeezing on the choke. It was insane that Thompson would not quit. The guy would not tap out. That was damn impressive that Thompson hung on for round number 4 to end, and he did not tap and didn't lose. So then, round number 5 went to Thompson. In my opinion, Thompson won round number 5. Now to the judges. It went the distance. Now to the judges' decision. 2 of the judges had it tied. And then one of the judges, at least this is what the announcer, Bruce Bufford, announced, 2 of the judges had it tied. And the 3rd judge gave it to Woodley. So then Bruce Bufford announced Woodley is a winner. He's a winner by split decision. And then it's re-announced right after that it was not a split decision, that the fight would end in a draw. So it ended in a draw. Not a split decision, now it was a draw. So that means Tyron Woodley keeps his championship. He's still the champion. He retains his title because it was a draw. Do I agree with the draw? No, I don't. I think Tyron Woodley won very, very, very close. It is very close, but I'd give it to Tyron Woodley as a winner, not have it as a draw. But whatever, I'm happy because I predicted in my UFC 205 prediction, I predicted that Tyron Woodley would win and retain his title. And he did win. He didn't win, it was a draw, but in my book he still won because he's still champion. So he retains his title. Good for Woodley. The guy put up a great fight. He should have won in the 4th round. He should have ended it. But that's not his fault, because Thompson would not tap out. The guy wouldn't quit. And he was still bleeding in the 4th round. Thompson was really beat up. I don't know how the guy lasted and did not tap. Now to the main event. Eddie Alvarez against Conor McGregor. This was the main event. The crowd, Madison Square Garden, the crowd got hyped and finally got on their feet and was really hyped up for this fight. Took a long time for both guys to come out. They had a build-up video package, both guys talking trash. That was good. So it starts off, round number 1. And Eddie Alvarez, almost called him Eddie Edwards, Eddie Alvarez was defending his championship. And I think, he just had one championship. Conor McGregor had the other championship. So Eddie Alvarez was defending it against Conor McGregor. And there were a lot of fans there for Conor McGregor. You could tell they were doing chants, ole ole chants, singing, and they were 100% behind Conor McGregor in Madison Square Garden. So, round number 1 starts off, and Alvarez, pretty quickly, Eddie Alvarez gets popped. He gets drilled. He gets popped real fast. He gets rocked, and he falls down. Conor jumps on him, but Eddie Alvarez gets up real fast. And then again, first round, still in the first round, Eddie Alvarez knocked down again. And this time, Conor did go on top of him, but he got up again. So round number 1, Eddie Alvarez was knocked down 3 times. Pretty insane. So round number 1, I give it to Conor McGregor. He won round number 1, no doubt about it. And he looked super relaxed. Conor McGregor, the guy looked super relaxed, like it was nothing. Like him fighting in Madison Square Garden for the first time in UFC history. And him fighting in the main event, the guy looked super relaxed, like this was easy. So, not easy to step in the octagon, but Conor McGregor made this fight look really easy. He did his job and made it look damn easy. That's what I felt when I was watching. I was like, oh my God, Conor McGregor looks really relaxed, like this is nothing. Like it's not even being broadcast on pay-per-view. So it was like he's fighting in his own house or something. So round number 2. Conor at one point puts his hands behind his back like this twice. In round number 2, he puts his hands behind his back going like this towards Eddie Alvarez. That was insane. That was crazy. But Conor did that for show. He just did that to get a pop out of the crowd, in my opinion. But that's still damn funny. Putting his hands behind his back, both of them, that was pretty damn insane. And that tells you right there that Conor McGregor was damn confident that he was going to win this fight. To do something like that, but he also did it to get a pop out of the crowd. Because it did get a big pop out of the crowd. So round number 2 again. Conor McGregor looked so relaxed, he put his hands behind his back twice in round number 2. And Conor McGregor wins round number 2. Why did he win it? How did he win it? He ended it. It did not go to judge's decision. Conor McGregor ends it in round number 2. It's over by knockout. Conor McGregor knocks him out. Knocks him out with a punch. Eddie Alvarez falls down. The guy's barely moving. Not trying to fight back. Conor jumps on top of him. Drills him a couple of times. And then the ref, Big John, stops a fight right there. Round number 2, your winner by knockout, Conor McGregor. Now, at the post-fight interview, Conor is now a double champion. In UFC, the first time that's ever happened. And UFC's been around for 23 years. So, Conor McGregor is the first ever double champion in UFC history. He's now the featherweight champion and the light heavyweight champion. Congratulations to him. He put on a great fight. He looked like he had his A+ game. He's in his prime. The guy looked tremendous. He looked relaxed. He looked on fire. He was connecting on all cylinders. The guy was at his absolute peak in this fight. So Conor McGregor, the guy looked awesome in this fight. He wins a championship, and he has his other championship now, so he has 2 belts in UFC. I don't know if he's going to defend them both in different weight classes. I don't know. He could, but that'd be pretty insane to do that. I don't think UFC's going to strip him of one of the titles, but who knows. So your winner and new champion, now a double champion with 2 UFC titles, Conor McGregor wins in the 2nd round by knockout. It was an exciting fight. The crowd was hyped up for it, but I still say Thompson-Woodley was a fight of the show. So let me make sure I reviewed every fight. Started off with Frank Yeager winning on the prelims. Frank Yeager defeats Jeremy Stephens by unanimous decision. Then we went to the pay-per-view where Pennington defeated Miesha Tate. Then Miesha Tate announces that she is retiring. And then we had the third fight was, I believe, Yoel Romero, Chris Weidman. Romero wins. And the fourth fight was Joanna defending her title, defeating Catalina. Fifth fight, Tyrone Woodley and Stephen Thompson end in a draw. But Woodley retains his title in the main event. Eddie Alvarez loses and gets knocked out in the 2nd round by the new double champion, the notorious Conor McGregor. It was a good pay-per-view. I'm really glad I watched it. Really glad I got it. It was good. UFC 205. This was my review. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show. UFC 206 is going to be a good pay-per-view. I'll probably predict and review that. And then UFC 207, I believe, is when Ronda Rousey returns at UFC 207. Hope you enjoyed my review. Follow me on Twitter at WWE Guy. Also, subscribe to my YouTube, like my videos, share them, and comment. Bye for now, everybody. Hope you enjoyed UFC 205. If you didn't see it, hope you enjoyed this review and got something out of it. Bye for now.